Hello, welcome to question number 15 of the GRE Revised General Test. It says for the following question, select all the answer choices that apply. Now question 15, let's read. The total amount that Mary paid for a book was equal to the price of the book plus a sales tax. That was 4% of the price of the book. Now Mary paid for the book with a $10 bill and received the correct change, which was less than $3. Now, which of the following statements must be true? Now, the very first statement says the price of the book was less than this, the price of the book was greater than this, the sales tax was less than this. So how then do we determine the one that must be true? It says must be true. So it's a must, not just might or should. Must be true. So how do we deal with this interesting question? Alright, let's see how we deal with it. So what we have here is it says the total amount that Mary paid for a book. Let's call my amount, let me call it A. The amount she paid for a book was equal to the price of the book. Let me call P my price, plus a sales tax. So this is my tax. That was 4% of the price of the book. Alright, let's write something so it doesn't look as if you're speaking in parables. So A is representing my amount. So let A represent the amount that she paid for the book, and let P be the price of the book. So P is going to represent the price of the book. Alright, now we are told that she paid for a book that was equal to the price of the book plus a sales tax that was 4% of the price of the book. Now what we are told here is the sales tax is 4% of the price of the book. So that is the tax. The tax equals 4%. 4% of the price of the book. That is 4% of P. Now 4% is 0.04 times P. So this is the tax. Now let's now interpret the whole statement here. It says the amount she paid for the book is equal, that is A is equal the price of the book. The price of the book is P. So you say P plus, it says plus a sales tax. That was 4% of the price of the book. That is plus the sales tax. Now the tax we obtain is 0.04p. 0.04p. Now P, this is 1p plus 0.04p is going to give us 1.04p. So in other words, we've obtained the amount of the book is 1.04p. So this is what we know, and which is what we're going to use. So let's go on. Mary paid for the book with a $10 bill. It's just like, and we're told she received the correct change. So it's just like you go to a supermarket and then they told you the cost of a book is $10, and then since you have $20 with you, you give them $20, and then they're going to give you a change, which is going to be $10. So she went to the market, she went to the bookstore. Now she paid for the book with a $10 bill, and then we're told she received the correct change. So which implies that she paid an excess of the amount of the book which she was supposed to pay. So let's begin interpreting the question now. So let me use a different marker, a different color for this second part. That's the second statement here. So the amount she paid, so she paid $10, but the amount of the book, that is the amount of the book, is 1.04p. Now since the amount of the book, this is the amount she paid $10, but the amount of the book is 1.04p, so that implies that 1.04p must be less than $10. After all, she received a change from that. And then also we are told that the change is less than $3. Now note, she paid 10, she gave them a $10 bill, but the change is less than 3. So that simply implies that the price of the book must be greater than $7. How did I do that? Let's go over it again. Mary paid for the book with a $10 bill and received the correct change. Now the change she received after paying a $10 bill was less than $3. So that implies that the price of the book must be greater than $7. You understand? So that implies that 7 is less than this. That is, this is the price of the book here. The price of the book is greater than 7. So that's what it implies. Now from these two statements here, I want to find P. I want to find the price of the book, because the statements I want to confirm here talks about the price. Here it talks about the price, and then here it talks about the sales tax. So to find the price, so I can answer the two questions, the first two questions, I'm going to divide both sides of the inequality by 1.04, so I can find P. So when I divide by 1.04, divide here by 1.04, divide here by 1.04, and then divide here by 1.04. Now this crosses out. 10 divided by 1.04, you would obtain 9.62. 7 divided by 1.04, you would obtain 6.73. So again, you would be given there will be an on-screen calculator for you to compute all this, so you do not have to worry about how to do this, since you'll be given a calculator, or a calculator is not going to be allowed. So but do not worry, there's going to be an on-screen calculator that you can punch in to find the values of these numbers here. So again, what you obtain is 6.73 less than P less than 9.62. So now I know the range of values that the price must satisfy. So let me now go ahead and see which of the statements here are correct. Now the first statement here says the price of the book was less than 9.5. It says the price of the book is less than 9.5. Now from what we have here, the price of the book is less than 9.62, not less than 9.5. If I want to do this, let's have, assuming this is a number line, and maybe here is 6.73, and then here is 9.62. So what we are told is, or from the information we have here, is that the price lies between here and here. And then but what we are told here is, it says the price of the book was less than 9.5. Is that what the statement is just saying? Is that saying this is where it is. This is 9.5. It's saying the price of the book is less than. That is, it falls in this area here, this area down here, which is not true, because the price of the book could also lie. The price of the book could also lie here. It could lie here. It could lie here. It could lie in any of these numbers here. So that implies that A is not correct. Then we go to the next one. The price of the book was greater than 6.9. Again, you can't say the price of the book will be greater than 6.9, because 6.9 is going to be somewhere here, 6.90. What we are told is the price of the book can be anywhere between 6.73 and 9.62. So there is nothing for you to draw a conclusion that the price of the book must be greater than 6.9. So what are you going to do to the spaces that are left here? Because this place also lies in a range where the price could also fall in. So that implies that this statement here can be true. It's not true. So let's go to the last one. It says the sales tax was less than 0.45. The sales tax. Anyway, from what we have here, the maximum value the price can have could just be, let's say this is 9.62. So let's say the maximum it can have is going to be 9.61. So let's assume that the price is, now if the price is let's say the price is 9.61. now the tax, this is the tax. We're told that the tax equals 0.04p. So to calculate the tax from here is going to be 0.04 times the price, which is 9.61. now this times this is going to give us 0.38. So that is to say, this is going to be the maximum tax we can hope to obtain for the price of the book. And then what the statement says is, it says the sales tax is less than 0.45, which is true. The highest tax we can obtain is 0.38, so which is also less than 0.45. So C is the only correct answer. So and then that implies that C is going to be the solution to question number 5 of the revised GRE general test. Thank you for watching.